Hey guys, thanks for coming back. Welcome. I got some more Twitch stuff to talk about today. Or should I say kick. So this one right here will probably be a short video, and if it ends up being 10 minutes again or longer, I apologize. Real quick, this video was actually supposed to be out last week, but I just kind of forgot to put it up, and I guess it's pretty relevant now because XQC keeps making a fool of himself. So today we're going to be talking about XQC, which I didn't think I was going to have to do. If you didn't watch the previous video, then let me just summarize the situation for you real quick. XQC has recently been under some heat for reacting to videos on stream, with very little to no interesting transformative entertainment value to these videos. Just a week and a few days ago, as of July 2023, XQC reacted to Lemino's JFK assassination video, where he literally just sat there watching the video in silence with very little input for an hour and a half. Like, genuinely. He sat there for most of the video in silence, with his only real reactions being XQC gibberish. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
It can be a topic of conversation that you have with somebody next to you. You say, oh yeah, I spoke about that, and then we spoke about it. Not talking about it or even mentioning it, I think it's kind of, I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Several people were quick to call him out for what some say is essentially borderline plagiarism, and others were more disappointed at the fact that XQC constantly plays others' videos for content while he himself does almost nothing. Personally, I stand with the latter for reasons I already got into previously. So Mudohar, from another one of my favorite channels on YouTube, Some Ordinary Gamers, along with several other creators, chimed in and gave their opinions about XQC's questionable practices. But today, I'm kind of going to focus on Mudohar's argument with XQC. Mudohar starts off by saying here that it is a shame that slop content such as this goes on YouTube without many repercussions, which I have to agree with. As I was saying previously, I think that this type of content is incredibly lazy and disrespectful to the creativeness and the labor that the creator had to pour out in order to make this type of content. But of course, XQC is a very toxic and unrooted individual, and he decided to give his own rebuttal, which was honestly very weak and was a poor attempt at making Mudohar appear less qualified than what he actually is. As we can see here, XQC replies back saying that he doesn't understand how making reaction streams can be such a problem to creators such as Mudohar. Which is ironic, because of course XQC would say this, as all he does is sit in front of a camera reacting to content instead of putting in several hours out of his day to actually create content on par to what he mindlessly watches. XQC continues to say that several other important figures in the community, fix that for him, consistently make the same complaint, but all fail to actually make a strong objection to any form of rhetoric. That's kind of insulting, as many people agree their reaction streams are lazy, and many of the individuals that make these complaints often have a lot of people side with them in an attempt to try to make lame streamers like XQC actually put in the effort into entertainment instead of basically jacking it from other creators. XQC finishes off by saying that he is just watching a video he likes for his audience. Whether that is a truthful statement or not, whether he knows he's profiting off essentially stealing content and playing it off as simply watching it, who knows? I can't say I know XQC's thoughts, but let's hold this thought for a second. We'll see if he reveals his true colors. Mudohar, of course, makes a very good reply questioning his morality. It's a pretty long one, so I'm just going to summarize, as it is what I do best. Mudohar starts deconstructing XQC's weak, why are you triggered argument, saying that there is nothing excessively unsettling about XQC's actions. He continues by saying that uploading a video that shares the same patterns as another also leads to that video being up in the recommendations with the original video. In this case, XQC is reacting to Lemino's video in full, so that video will be recommended alongside with it and eat up potential viewers. And he is correct on this. This does happen, as we can see here. These three videos are recommended alongside each other. Mudohar further says that he understands that the chances of this happening or being harmful depend on the creator XQC is taking videos from, expressing that XQC, in his own words, is just playing a video to show off to his viewers with no intent of being transformative or adding on to the entertainment value. These are very great arguments by Mudohar so far. We see Mudohar continue to say that XQC is not a special case, and this type of behavior has been an issue for ages with creators such as Jinx being explicitly looked down upon for also essentially ripping off content. It is not just the community that dislikes this, but YouTube doesn't either, as YouTube frowns upon repetitive or duplicate content, and XQC's upload is very much that. YouTube will change its algorithm to fight against duplicate content, such as XQC's. Mudohar finishes this tweet by saying that he is aware that XQC has watched fully copyrighted materials before, but he hasn't uploaded them on YouTube. Why? Because there are actual repercussions to doing this. Why hasn't he uploaded those instead of Lemino's videos on YouTube? Because copyright claiming isn't something that just anyone has access to, and only those backed by larger entities are capable of doing so. In this tweet, Mudohar is deconstructing XQC's facade in the most well-spoken, well-verbally constructed way possible. Instead of outright calling him a hack and claiming that XQC is cheating smaller in comparison creators out of many variables, he tells him in a very professional and cordial manner. Honestly, that's something to appreciate, as many people in the industry will outright try to cancel you, using any destructive language possible. I mean, look at Ethan Klein's take. He had no restraint at all. He went full beast mode on this.
What the sound?
So, like, I mean, just right off the bat, what the fuck is this editing? There's 10 seconds of him sitting there like a moron. Look at this idiot. I mean, this is already theft. He didn't even intro it. He didn't talk about it. He's literally just sitting there quietly for the first 30 seconds. You should sue him.
But no, XQC is going to be a stupid crybaby and deflect any accountability, as terrible people often do. And his reply is this. XQC first uses the big word argument, which is weak and holds no substance, saying that Mudahar only uses big words in an attempt to get people to like Mudahar. He claims that Mudahar's entire argument about cannibalistic viewership is unfounded and is only purely anecdotal, in an attempt to get some virtue signaling credits from onlookers out of this drama. XQC further claims that Mudahar's entire tweet was just personal attacks that only further discredit the points he made. But knowing Mudahar, this could not be further from the truth. I guess you are upset that people are reacting to actual good content instead of whatever it is you post, he says, diminishing Mudahar for having no substance, which is incredibly ironic, as XQC himself literally has no substance. This person can barely even speak, let alone clean his room, and all he does is sit blankly watching YouTube videos in silence for hours at a time. I mean, how can you have any substance as a husk, a literal shell of a man that does absolutely nothing but just watch videos in silence all day? That is the definition of no substance. You are literally empty. You have nothing to provide. I mean, you can't even provide decent commentary. You can't even say coherent sentences, yet you want to talk about substance. XQC further says Mudahar only used 2 examples from 2017 because using any other examples would otherwise prove Mudahar incorrect in an attempt to win an argument off the bat, which is an ironic argument to make yourself, as he claims he frequently talks to creators to get okays from them for the use of their content in live streams or VODs. And I say it is ironic because he only proceeds to mention one example of a creator he communicated with. This quickly slaps XQC in the face, as another creator says XQC uploaded 2 of his videos in full without ever contacting him, only for his audience to ridicule him for doing his job. Funny how dumb XQC can be. XQC is in fact the dumb one. In the next poorly written cope paragraphs, here we see XQC make a claim about how Mudahar is insecure, and he should just stay mad until he can prove XQC wrong about the cannibalism data. Once again, ironic. XQC here starts making a disguised brag about how ad revenue means nothing to him, as it is 1% of his income, and that he isn't uploading anything on YouTube for the sake of money, claiming that he does it to make his community happy. The only insecure one here is XQC. In a conversation about creative theft, XQC has to make it about money, and remind everyone that he is in fact going to be a billionaire and that YouTube revenue isn't even 1% of his monetary gain. He finishes this long word salad by saying that Mudahar is a weak soy boy, making this entire argument in bad faith instead of taking the criticism soundly. Honestly, if anyone is a weak soy boy, it's XQC. Look at him. Look at the way he sits. Look at his posture, his health condition. XQC looks so malnourished, I bet he couldn't stand out in the California heat for too long before fainting. I highly doubt XQC actually has any talents or skills aside from his professional status in esports. I will give him that in good faith. Meanwhile, someone like Mudahar has a full-fledged career in the tech industry. You know, what's funny is that I'm analyzing and discussing the situation as I read these tweets along. I like to do this to get a more raw and interactive feel to my videos, and I see even Mudahar and someone else were making the same points I just made. So I guess we can just glance over these. In fact, in this next tweet, Mudahar also says that when XQC reacted to his video, XQC didn't reach out to Mudahar at all, and that Mudahar was not mentioning money at all in the conversation, completely invalidating 70% of his argument. This is actually hilarious to see. This entire interaction ends up on an even funnier note. Remember when XQC said, I guess you're upset that people are reacting to actual good content instead of whatever it is you post? Well, Mudahar completely embarrasses and destroys XQC using his own logic and argument against him, as he takes a screenshot of XQC reacting to one of Mudahar's own videos. Actual good content, you know? Honestly, I find XQC kind of deplorable, and all of this just makes me dislike him even more. Between his terrible habits, his inability to create anything intelligent, and his boring reaction streams, I can't find anything to particularly like about all of this. He literally spent an entire week deflecting and refusing to take criticism about his reaction streams, and uploads could potentially be negative to the community on YouTube. The entire time, he just keeps doubling down, claiming that all he's doing is just streaming a video for his community to enjoy, never understanding that at best, he's potentially robbing people of viewership, or at worst, stealing intellectual property. Some people keep saying that they don't understand what is so wrong with stream reactions, and I'll give some credit. There is no definitive evidence that reaction content like this actually ruins viewership or gains from another creator. But the worst part is that you're at the very worst still just jacking someone else's creativeness to do the content for you so that your viewers remain tuned in, which is still translated to some gain off of maintaining a consistent viewer count for your kick deal. You could be entertaining on your own, but instead all you do is let the entertainment be done for you while you fill your pockets off the viewership numbers that are being kept alive by you sitting there eating food to someone else's efforts. And XQC's defense to this is that people are insecure and all they are doing is being morally correct to farm interactions. It is honestly such a weak cop-out, a weak attempt to deflect criticism even, by claiming that people are just trying to virtue signal for Twitter revenue. It is actually insane to see how detached from reality some people can be, especially internet celebrities. Not everyone is going to take a moral outlook on things for the sake of insecurity or to interaction farm, or even to make themselves look better. People call things out as they are wrong and are opinionated on things because it is the right thing to do. It is right for people to call terrible things out. Otherwise, where would we be as a society if we did not give each other any form of checks and balances? To be honest, I might not even get any viewers on this video, but I still hold true to my morals because what matters is integrity, which XQC has none of. So there goes the virtue signaling for interactions argument, right out the window. Thanks for watching everyone, love you all, stay safe, and XQC is very boring.